Hi, this is Sue from Alden Lane again, and we're talking orchids here. As you can see, this is a miniature Phalaenopsis, and a lot of times people will get Phalaenopsis and where do I put them that they would thrive? And what you want to do when you have something in bloom like this is to put it in somewhere where there's not a lot of temperature fluctuation. Because if it gets too hot or too cold, it will affect the life of the flowers. So I have this wonderful little Phalaenopsis right here, but I'm starting to lose a lot of buds where I put it, and it may just be too much of a temperature fluctuation. A lot of times when you buy Phalaenopsis in bloom, it's gone through a lot of different phases, as far as gone to a broker, gone to a warehouse, into a van or a truck, and then finally arrived at its destination at your house. So it's gone through a lot of temperature fluctuations anyway. And so it's a little bit normal for you to lose a few buds when you first get a plant. Now once you grow this in your house and you bloom it, and it stayed in that particular area for a very long time, then you shouldn't have a lot, if you haven't moved it, you shouldn't have a lot of bud loss that way. But the temperatures for something like a Phalaenopsis will be somewhere in the temperature range of between in the 60 to 80 degree range, which is usually what you have your house at. So you just don't want to put it near an open doorway where there's going to be a draft coming in and out, or next to a heater, that kind of thing. That would be an issue as well. And so also orchids like humidity, and that can also cause bud loss to happen. So if you put it someplace around a bunch of other plants, they give off humidity to each other. You can mist them with a mister, just lightly mist. You won't want to water the plant, you just want to mist the leaves. The flowers don't need misting, but just the leaves. And you can put it in a humidity tray, which is just any kind of shallow dish with maybe some rocks in there. You can put that in your light area that you have, and make sure that the bottom of the plant does not touch the water. You don't want it to sit in water, you just want that to evaporate around them. And don't put it in just a tiny little saucer with some water in it, because that will humidify the bottom of the pot. You want a fairly good circumference around the plant that will have water and humidify. And so this orchid does not need a whole lot of light at this point as well, because it's had enough energy to make flowers. So you can enjoy it on your coffee table or wherever you want to put it, as long as the temperature doesn't fluctuate a lot. But once it's finished blooming, then light becomes an issue for it to rebloom it. So then you want to put it someplace where you have a very long period of very strong filtered light in your house. Maybe it's your kitchen window, or someplace where you get the longest amount of really great light is where you want to try and keep this plant. And you can summer them outside if you want to, putting them in the shade, not in full sun, and that will give it enough energy to actually rebloom. So you want to keep that in a nice sheltered area, but you can take a little bit of morning sun as well. And after it finishes blooming, then you can cut it all the way down. Now this is a fairly young plant. I would cut this all the way down, let the plant rest for a year, and then it will make some great flowers next year when it has a lot of light. But if you have a plant that is a little bit older, like this plant right here, this plant right here has a beautiful, beautiful bloom, and it's a lot older plant. After this one finishes blooming, you would actually trim it right below, maybe about right here, and there's a little node right in there, and that has a little place where you might get another stem of flowers coming. So you want to cut it right there. You have a 50-50 chance of it actually reblooming off the new spike. And I do that on an older, very healthy plant. If your plant's not looking so great, you might want to let it rest for a while, gain some more energy. Or if your plant is very young, you might want to trim it back all the way and let it gain some more energy, so it will flower for you better the next time. And then you can try reblooming it off the same old stem. Thanks a lot for joining us, and we hope we'll give you some great information for your orchid journey.